Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into another edition of VoiceOver Voices.biz with Earl Hall. I've got a great guest with me here today, Samantha, and we're going to be talking about her journey in voiceover as well as all the gear that she uses and why she selected it. Sam, welcome into the broadcast. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Earl. It's nice to meet you today.
Oh, it's nice to meet you as well. And the pleasure is definitely mine. Well, look, Sam, kind of tell us a little bit about your journey here. How long ago did you get started in VO and what made you get started?
So actually, I first got interested in 2016 or 17, and I started watching your videos on YouTube and
Oh my
Bill
gosh.
DeWeese and Gabrielle Nastico.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't actually make the decision to start voiceover, start training until 2019. I
Okay.
had been struggling financially, and then I finally came into some money. So I started taking acting classes, got all my voice acting classes in. And I did that for the entirety of last year. And then this year in January, I finally got my demo and I started actively auditioning.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Now, you gave us a little short synopsis. I'm sure there were dips and bends and twists in the road
Yes.
to kind of get to where you are now. So, like I always like to do, I like to start off with like the most coveted piece of gear that most of us look at getting, which is obviously our microphones, right? We kind of salivate over different people's mics. What mic are you using, and why did you choose that one?
So I'm using a CAD GXL 2200.
Okay.
Whenever I was doing my research on it back in 2017, it's just an overwhelming amount of microphones to choose from. And as a beginner, I had no idea which one would be right for my vocal quality, my tone. I had no idea. So I had read a lot of good reviews about the CAD and, what qualities it had. And I went to Facebook Marketplace and found myself this
Love it.
microphone for
It's
$80.
interesting. $80. I know Facebook Marketplace when it comes down to audio gear is one of the best places to go. Now, I'm a
Right.
big subscriber to Amazon. I'm an Amazon influencer, but you can find different quality of gear and price ranges of gear because people like us are always coming in and out of the industry. Like, so they're always got different things to sell there. So it was just funny. I had to hop in there and say that. But with the sound quality that you're getting from your microphone, had you tried any others before you got to this one?
Nope. I bought this one, like I said, back in 2017 when I was just kind of thinking
Wow.
about going into voiceover, and I didn't have the money to buy a new one. So I was just like, this will do. And my coach was like, that works just fine. Okay.
Yeah, well, I gotta get that one in my Amazon store. So now this is an XLR mic, right?
Yes.
And it is a condenser.
hmm It's
What kind of
I think it's a large diaphragm.
It looks like it is. I'm sitting here looking on your screen. It looks like it's probably a large diaphragm,
hmm
kind of like a TLM 103, something like that,
Right.
same size diaphragm in there. So between your microphone and your DAW, what kind of audio processing are you doing, like with audio interfaces and things like that? What are you using for that?
I'm using a Behringer. It's a
Okay.
Foria. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. I just looked at it. Oh,
Look, all these letters and numbers, right, from all these different pieces of gear, it kind of makes it hard.
exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Euphoria UM2.
Okay.
I had bought it on Amazon same time I bought the microphone because need that to work it. But it was $30, I think,
Oh,
on
wow.
Amazon,
Okay.
and it works perfectly. It's been like 4 years, 3 years since I've had it, and it
Awesome.
never failed me. I've never had any technical difficulties with this setup.
Look, you're probably one of the few people that can say that about
Right.
their audio setup. I was just working on mine earlier this morning, but so that's a good thing with that. Any other pieces of gear before we get into your DAW?
So, I mean, the only other things I have is the pop filter, which
Hmm.
I also bought on Amazon. I think it was like $10, $15.
Yeah.
And my headphones, which are studio headphones, so there's no added frequency or sound or anything to it. It's
Mm,
just sound as is. Um,
okay.
these
What
were
brand are your headphones?
also Behringer.
Also Behringer. Okay. Awesome. Well, let's get into like some of the technical stuff. Like, so what's your DAW? What are you doing all this magic in?
Isotope RX8 Advanced.
Oh, now that's a different one. Tell me how and why you selected that one. I've heard of it. I've never seen the user interface, but tell us about that because that's interesting to me.
So the Isotope, I love the layout, the spectrogram, the waveform. It's just so visually appealing to me. It's the best one that I found. I started out with Audacity.
Okay.
It worked fine, but it didn't remove everything that I wanted it to, like the low noise. I couldn't find a good high pass filter for it. It didn't remove all the clicks. It was terrible at that. And then I tried Twisted Wave and
Mm.
OSID Audio. I looked at Adobe Audition, but that was just super complicated and overwhelming. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
took a 15 or 30-minute consultation with one of the studio engineers that I worked under, and he told me about Isotope. And
Hmm.
I looked at it and I was like, this is really great. I didn't want to buy advanced. I was going to buy the middle one. But
Okay.
then they had like a sale where I got about $100 off of it. So it was like, you know what? I'm a singer too. So I'm just going
Okay.
to go ahead and get the advanced. Maybe one day I'll make some music. Who knows?
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's really interesting because a lot of people have a lot of different reasons for choosing the DAW or the microphone or the interfaces that they use, and it all comes down to personal preference. And when it comes to Isotope, I know they make great stuff as well. Any particular plugins that you have as far as a go-to for like editing and mastering what it is that you do?
Yes, I built myself a stack and for editing
Hmm.
for my
Hmm.
basic auditions. I love the click removal tool. That is
Okay.
the best plugin ever from Isotope. They also have a breath removal, which I do
Mm.
the breath removal um,
Manually.
manually
Mhm.
because it whenever I do that automatically, it takes out some of my words.
Yeah, some of the ends like F's or something like that that falls
E's,
off. Yeah.
F's, B's.
Yeah.
Um, so I do that manually. Then I do a normalization and click removal, normalization, sibilance removal because
Hmm.
sometimes I forget to not my S's.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a couple of other things, but mainly the click removal is by far the best feature.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you brought that up about Isotope. I haven't spoken to anyone that uses that. So that's great for our listeners to be able to kind of hear what you think about that and maybe something they'll check out as well. I mean,
Yeah.
I always wrap up every show asking the one final question. It's like, if you could ask me anything about voiceover, what would that be?
Hmm. Um. What? Because I know that you've been on the pay to plays,
Mhm.
Fiverr, Voices, all that stuff, and there's a
Mhm.
huge black and white debate about all of this. What made you decide to step away from everybody's black and white opinion and do your own thing and decide this is my business, I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to let anybody else's judgments cloud what how I want to run it?
Well, this is a path that obviously I chose for myself, and everyone has to choose their own path. It's like if you want to, there are plenty of people winning on the pay to play sites. There are plenty of people winning on places like Fiverr and People Per Hour and Upwork. It's a matter of what you want to do and how it is that you want to run your business. It's like for me, if you don't go all in, I think it's not worth it. Like if I were to go all in, like on a pay to play site like voices.com, they have like a high ticket type of thing. I think it's like $2,800 a year or something like that to make sure that you're getting all the VO auditions first before everyone that has like a $49 subscription or something else gets it. It's like if I'm going to play in an ecosystem, I'm going all in on that ecosystem and I'm going all in on at the highest level. I think the mistake that VOs make is that they don't go in on the highest level. They just say, okay, well, I'm gonna just start right here, and then that doesn't work and it doesn't work fast, and it doesn't turn out the way that they want. And so they say that it doesn't work. They'll go to a place like Fiverr and not play appropriately in the ecosystem, like not being responsive enough to messages that come in because you have to be, or Fiverr will ding you. If you want to play in that, whatever ecosystem you want to play in, you've got to play by the rules and you've got to play at the highest level. I decided to do it the way that I did it as far as direct marketing because that's my strength. It's the strength that I have to be able to do that. And so everybody has these different paths, but the biggest mistake that VOs make is dipping their toe in as opposed to just dumping into the deep end and going all in. That's my opinion.
I would have to definitely agree with that. Yep.
Okay. Well, I hope that helps anyway.
No, it's like I did the same thing. December, I quit my job because many reasons, and started full on VO in January.
Awesome.
And it's a learning process, you know.
Yes.
Marketing, I don't know my brand, and you're supposed to be yourself, and I didn't know who I was. So I'm still in that process of figuring it out, and that directly affects how I'm able to direct market myself. It directly affects my confidence in what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, who I'm saying it to. So it's nice to hear different perspectives on how you forged your path.
Yeah, and you'll find your voice. And the worst thing I think, and all of us in VO do this at the beginning, we try and copy and sound like someone else. And you can't be them. But no one can beat you being you. No one.
That's right.
So that's where we need to focus, is finding that voice, whatever that voice is, and finding that and just trusting it. You know, just trust it, because you can go all in on you, but you can't go all in on trying to be someone else.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. It's good.
So, well, do you go by Sam or Samantha? I've called you both during this.
So, typically people call me Sam, but it doesn't matter really.
Okay. All right. Well, Sam, I definitely want to thank you for taking time out to do this interview with us today on voiceovervoices.biz with yours truly, Earl Hall. I know that doing these types of interviews with folks like you that are kind of in the mix and, you know, that are just getting started and trying to figure this whole thing out, you've got the same questions that a million other VOs that are just starting out have. And I wanted to bring this perspective to the table with Voiceover Voices so that we could all hear from each other and learn from each other. And you've been tremendous, because I've picked up nuggets. I know I got to look at Isotope now, right? And go into that. People have learned about Marketplace. They've learned about going on Amazon and making sure the deals are going on. But thank you so much for being here and just for sharing your experience with us. I definitely appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on here. It's awesome to meet the guy that I've been following for the last 4 years.
Well, it's awesome to meet you as well. And it's a great opportunity for me, because I don't normally get to meet the folks that have been watching me for 4 or 5 years, you know, but so this is always great that I'm able to kind of see that, and it just helps inspire me and push me. So thank you for inspiring me to keep going. I appreciate you.
You have a wonderful afternoon.
You too. Take care now.